Hey guys, so today I want to talk to you about a little uh, philosophy. So we just finished up the Republic in philosophy class, and I thought I'd share a chapter or a video or chapter every other video, and we'll see. But here's chapter one. I'll give you a little rundown. Basically, Socrates and his crew, Plato, Adeimantus, Glaucon, Polemarchus, they're all hanging out, and then Polemarchus takes him to his house, and then they talk about justice and what justice is. And everybody kind of gives their little definition. Cephalus, Polemarchus's dad, gives it's like justice is telling the truth and giving to people what's owed, and that's kind of simple. It's kind of the old man's kind of definition. That's pretty solid. But a response that Socrates has is, well, what if a madman gives you his weapon and then asks for it back when he gets angered? When he wants to go kill somebody, like his wife or a child? That weapon is owed to him, it is his. But should you? And is that justice? I don't think so. Neither does Socrates. And then Polemarchus says, like, justice is giving to each person that is what is fitting. So, like, benefits to friends and, like, harm to enemies. But Socrates doesn't really like this either, because who can you really tell who your real friends are? It's hard to tell even nowadays. And who can you tell who the real enemies are? That's the problem. And then there's one guy, Thrasymachus, let's call him Thrasy. Well, Thrasy's kind of just, sitting there. He's just like, I like to say something. And Thrasymachus, he's like a traveling teacher, kind of like a professor of old age. And he's like, I have a definition of justice, and it's not what you think. Justice is the benefit of the stronger. That is the stronger being the ruling class, the elites, and justice is following those laws that benefit them, and that actually injustice is the more beneficial thing to the common man, because if you do injustice, then you can skirt those laws, and therefore you become richer or happier or whatever. And then Socrates is like, I don't know about that. It doesn't sit right with me. And then he makes a counter argument and say, like, you're rulers. If they were truly rulers, would they be taking the funds from their workers? Would they be taxing them tremendously? Would they be harming them to keep them down? No. A good ruler brings up his subjects, or her subjects. A rising tide lifts all boats. And then, like, Thrasymachus is like, oh, I mean, rulers in the precise sense. No padding. But if they were truly rulers, they would rule without wanting any reimbursement. They would rule for the benefit of the city alone. And then Thrasymachus is like, okay, all right, I'll stop for now. I'll come back later. Why don't you tell me what you think justice is? And then Socrates is like, well, I don't know, but I can tell you what justice is like. And justice is a virtue. And he goes through an argument saying that justice is akin to being wise, and the just person is good and virtuous. And eventually comes to the conclusion that justice is a virtue, and that just injustice is not a virtue. Additionally, justice is more powerful than injustice. See, he makes the analogy to a group of pirates. Inherently unjust in their cause, but they still have to be just to each other to actually pull off a good raid. And finally, Socrates says, hey, only the just are really happy in the precise sense. He gives an argument saying, oh yeah, virtue of a thing enables it to do its proper work well. So the proper work of a human soul is living, ruling, and managing. So it can only do these things if it has virtue. Justice is the virtue of the human soul, so a soul cannot live, manage, yada yada yada, without justice. But it can't do these things if it doesn't have it, and it won't be happy. So a person can't be happy without justice, but someone who is just, they will be happy. And I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you learned something new. It's a very slimmed down, I might make mistakes with it too, version of chapter 1, or let's say part 1. But I hope you liked it. I hope you learned something. Good night and good luck.